It's hard for us to remember when we were simply a soul, hanging out in the universe, enjoying our experience, looking down at this planet Earth. And perhaps we would wonder, what would it be like to just slide down through time and space and the density of matter and arrive on this physical, vibrantly beautiful planet filled with light and color and sound and water and sunshine and all of these adventures wide open for us to experience in the physical form. Each of us guiding one another and walking side by side in community. What would that journey be like? Welcome to healing our souls. Good morning and welcome to Healing Our Souls. It is good to be back with you making these videos and introducing you to some of my favorite people and books and energies. So today it feels appropriate to introduce you to my Zen Tarot deck by Osho. It's interesting because the way that I see energy is in everything. It's what brings life and creativity into the physical form. So energy is in our bodies, in our food, in our trees, in rocks, in books, in tarot cards, right? There's energy in everything. And whatever we put our hands on, we have a vibrational match that is reflected in what we are touching. So words that flow through a pen have our energy in them, and it suddenly becomes something beautiful on paper. Art, sculpture, children, like everything we touch has our energy. And so when I first found this Osho Zen deck, I had never had a tarot card deck before, and had a little judgment about it, like, why would I give my energy over to cards? Why would I allow cards to give me information or guide me on my path? Even though I'd had some incredible card readings from really beautiful friends and teachers, there was still this judgment of, I don't need that, right? Like, I am my own energy, and why do I need a tarot deck or cards to give me information? But then I saw this deck. I was with one of my friends in California. We were in this beautiful little store in Encinitas, and Soulscapes, I think is the name of it. And I saw this deck, and the box is like this, and I was like, oh, look at the colors, look at the energy, look at the movement, like, how fascinating. And so I want to read to you what it says on the back. This is why I bought this deck, and it's the only one I have, and it's actually the one that I reference at the end of my book. In the final chapter for suggested reading, I say, read this. Read this and put your own energy into what comes through. So it's called Osho Zen Tarot, and it's the transcendental game of Zen. And I don't have my glasses on, so I hope I can read this okay. It says, when life seems to be full of doubt and uncertainty, we tend to look for a source of inspiration. What will happen in the future? What about my health? The children? What will happen if I make this decision and not that one? This is how the traditional tarot is often used, to satisfy a longing to know about the past and the future. This Osho Zen Tarot focuses instead on gaining an understanding of the here and now. See why I love it? Here and now, right? It is a system based on the wisdom of Zen, a wisdom that says events in the outer world simply reflect our own thoughts and feelings, even though we ourselves might be unclear about what those thoughts and those feelings are. So it helps us to turn our attention towards outside events so we can find a new clarity of understanding about what is happening in our own innermost hearts. The conditions and states of mind portrayed by the contemporary images on the cards are all shown as being essentially transitional and transformative. The text in the accompanying book helps to interpret and understand the images in the simple, straightforward, and down-to-earth language of Zen. So I have used these cards and it just feels fun to share it with you. My request is, if you love the deck, go buy a deck for yourself, and let's continue spreading this really peaceful, empowering way to use the tarot. So I say that disclaimer as I'm about to show you the pictures and the readings and everything that's in here, because I've just recommended it to so many people. It's an amazing deck. All right, so when do I do my tarot cards? Maybe like once a month, maybe once every 2 months. If there's something that's really bothering me, or I sit in meditation and I'm still like kind of fuzzy about what to do next, or I'm just looking for confirmation, I usually will sit and I'll just pull 1 or 2 cards. And it's not, I don't use it as this is a magic center that's going to tell me what my next step is, some magic crystal ball that's going to say do this. I don't use it that way. What I use it as is it's like, you know how some people say your inner voice, can you hear your inner voice? I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. What is the inner voice? What does it sound like? How do you know when it's inner voice? Do you think it's God or source or you, or what is that? To me, this is so fun to share again after I just reflected it yesterday. To me, source energy is inside each one of us in the physical form, whether you call that God or source or any other name. That energy that creates worlds is inside every single human, every single animal, every single living, breathing organism. So when I hear what I call like nudges or whispers or confirmations or validations, it's not something outside of me that is saying do this, like some energy or spirit that's saying do this thing, and then I follow the thing, and then I hand over the effect of that to that thing, like, well, the devil told me to do it, or the angel told me to do it, or whatever these little voices are that are going on in my head are telling me to do these things. To me, source energy inside means source, love, energy inside of us only wants what is in our highest and best potential. Only wants more to be created, more love, more expansion, more joy, more abundance. That is what source energy is constantly bringing towards us. And so when we are still, when we sit in meditation and we feel how pure that love is, how pure that source energy is inside of our bodies, then the way we are guided to move and the things we are guided to do, they come from inside of us. They're not from outside, they're from here. And as everyone gets better and better at being still and at listening to those quiet voices, your guidance is just easy. Your next steps are just right in front of you. It's just this easy flow forward with life. And so for me, the time with the tarot deck, when I do this, it's like I can hear the inner voice, but it gets confirmed through the cards. The pictures clarify something that I already know. I already know this to be true. I already know what is coming for me. I already know what I'm creating. But the tarot deck gives me an image, and I can look at the image and go, oh, I see more. I understand more. And I can read the description and go, yes, that's totally just what happened. Like, okay, we're good. It's a validation, a confirmation of what I already know. It's not something that is magically going to tell me what I need to be doing. So it's empowering. It's not disempowering. It's empowering with what I already have as my own power inside. So, yeah, that's how I use the tarot deck. And it's so fun, and the images are so beautiful, and the descriptions are usually not what you expect. Like, you hear this word and you're like, yeah, and then you read it and you're like, oh, crap. It wasn't what I thought. So it's a new moon. As I am recording this, today is Wednesday. It's the new moon, where I host a Rueben circle, and we come together and we meditate, and we set the intentions for the month ahead. So it feels like the perfect time for me to be looking at the tarot deck and just feeling like what's coming next. So I'm going to show you my process as I do it for myself, and then maybe it'll inform yours and bring you a little bit of guidance on your path. So I usually have the book handy. I have my cards. I have a couple stones in front, which I don't think you can see in the video. I have a glass of water because it might take 10-20 minutes. and drink a lot of water. Always drink water. And then I usually have a blank page in my journal, and I'll just put the date at the card at the top of the page. And then I usually start by just feeling like what is something I'm working on or finding clarity in. And so I'll write down the question, and then I'll pull the tarot card, and then I'll write down what card it is, and then I come back and I read all of them at one time. It just flows better for me that way. It's like I'm just in the zone of, you know, feeling which cards are right, and then I read them when I'm done. And I am not a good shuffler. It is something I've never really gotten good at. I just don't deal cards well. So I shuffle the old-fashioned way, like I did when I was a kid. I make a big mess, and I get it all like out of whack and shuffle everything around. And then, you know, like when I feel good, I just go ahead and start straightening them out. And usually I have music playing, but I can't play music and record at the same time. So you just get to hear the traffic down at the bottom of the hill, and the trees, and the birds, and my cards on the glass. All right, and then I put them down, and every time is different. Sometimes I just pull from the top of the deck, and sometimes I separate it and break it out. At the back of the book, and you'll probably find this in most books, they have options that you can do different layouts. So if you don't really know what you want to look at or what questions you have, they guide you through different ways to put the cards down, and then how to interpret them. Like maybe it's past, present, and future, or, you know, there's all kinds of ways. I'm pretty straightforward. I just ask questions, write them down, and then I see what the cards show. So I am going to cut the cards a little bit today. And you can do this for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 second, you know, whatever you want. So, yeah. All right, my first question would be, what's my first question? My book. All right, so what is in the way? First, can dive right in and be vulnerable. So what is in the way of me truly releasing the energy of my book into the world? And of course, this is exactly what I looked at this morning in a session with one of my favoriteest clients, because there's a match with that client. And I had an easy answer for that one, and now it's me, and I'm like, oh, what's in the way? All right, so I am going to go for this one in the middle. Why? I don't know, it just feels like the right one. Clinging to the past. Shit. This deck is so spot on, and I'll read these to you in a few minutes. So clinging to the past would probably be why I am not truly releasing my book to the world. And also, like, have some fun. Like, have some fun. This is not some big serious, like, thing. You know, it's fun. It's like feeling your energy, but you get to play with it in physical form, and you get to pick images and get descriptions, and it's just fun. All right, so second question. Okay, so what is in the way of me releasing the energy of the world? So what is in the way? What support do I have as I release this book? And it's called One Day, so I'm going to put one day, as I release one day. What support do I have as I release one day? I'm going to do the second from the top one. Comparison. We shall see what that means. All right. What else do I want to look at? All right, I'm about to go away for the weekend for a retreat. So what does it serve me to know? What does it serve me to know as I prepare for some quiet, reflective time with friends? Time with friends. What does it serve me to know as I prepare for some quiet, reflective time with friends. I'm going to do the top card for that. What does it serve me to know? Possibilities! Yes! This is such a fun card. It's an eagle flying over the land. Like, everything is wide open. That's an awesome card. And that's how the weekend feels to me, is like super wide open. All right. One of the things that has been on my mind is my puppy. I'm going to be leaving for Costa Rica with my daughter in a week, and there's been a lot of like, what do we do with the puppy, and how do we take care of him, and who's going to take care of all of his needs? So I'm going to ask, how do I release control? How do I release control? As I control, did you see that? I tried to control the book even. Control freak. Getting better and better at it all the time. Releasing. How do I release control of Star being happy and well taken care of while I'm gone? And I can feel myself like wanting to write fast so that I don't waste your time, and I need to let that go. Like, hang out. We're all relaxing. We're all chilling. So what card? How do I release control of Star being happy? So I'm going to pick the cards on the right, the top one, because right is about doing, being, or doing activity, busy. So I'm going to take the top card off the deck. Intensity. How do I release control with intensity? All right, something good to learn there. I'm going to do another one. What wisdom? No, I don't want wisdom. What play awaits me in Costa Rica with my daughter? Yeah, so what I would say about that is I already know it's going to be play. I already know it's going to be amazing. I already know, like, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. So the energy of the question is more like, what play? Yeah, it feels more like, how do I receive? How do I stay present? How do I stay present? Yeah, it's more receiving. How do I receive the abundance of play that awaits me with my daughter? How do I receive the abundance of play? Because for me, play, like, I'm getting better at it, but I like working. I like being busy. I like doing things, and sometimes just playing feels very luxurious. And so yeah, so how do I receive the abundance of play? I'm going to pick this one. Participation. How good is that? Like, you got to participate when you receive, right? You got to let it in. Oh, that was good. That is good. All right, I'm going to do two more. So, yeah. What most serves me on this new moon? What most serves me to know on this new moon? So the new moon is all about possibilities. Actually, I didn't write the numbers down. What support do I have as I release one day's comparison? What does it serve me to know is possibilities? How do I release control is intensity? Sorry, just writing that down so I don't forget. Participation. Okay. What most serves me to know on this new moon? So the new moon is about totally black sky filled with stars without any light, you know, coming from the moon. It's wide open possibilities so that the new can be birthed, the new creative energies can come through. And then the cycle of the moon, as you go from new moon, no moon, all the way through to full moon, is illumination and expansion and bringing into the physical reality, the light, everything that you want to create in the new moon. So what most serves me to know on this new moon today? I'm going to pick the top one. Transformation. That is always good, right? Transformation is always good. Even though the card is a little like intimidating, it's like, see if you can see it. It's like, yeah, fierce, but also like super cool. Don't know why I showed you that one over the others, but I did. Okay, and then the last one, I always end my readings with, what do my guides want me to know? And so, want me to know now, like not later, but like right now. I believe, just like trees and air and everything is energy, that those who are guiding us at a soul level are always around us. And so ones that we have, you know, lost or who have transitioned into non-physical, their energies are supporting and surrounding and encouraging us. And so to me, inviting that support into a physical, like, here's what we want you to know, always feels like a beautiful way to end doing this process for myself. And I feel their love, so it's not I need you to give me an answer in the cards in order for me to believe that you're real and you exist. It's like, yeah, I know, I feel, the wind is picked up as I said this, I feel always held and loved and guided in my path. And so this is just like them winking at me, you know, source energy, angels, guides, spirits, whatever name you give that energy of non-physical. It's like a little wink. It's like they go, we see you. We see you, and we just want you to know, like, get out of your head. This is the thing that you most need to know. And so for that one, I'm going to pick this card, which is Beyond Delusion. It's one of my favorite cards. I pick it often, so that feels good. All right, I am going to read you the descriptions. So this is how I do my cards. Let me just write down transformation and then Beyond Delusion. All right, and then I go to the front of the card deck and I find all of them and I read them. So let me tell you what they say. All right, oh, we were starting with clinging to the past. Okay, this is 106. All right, clinging to the past. I don't know if you can see it well. Yeah, that looks like you can see it. Yeah. So my question was, what is in the way of me truly releasing the energy of my book to the world? And it says, these tenses, past, present, and future, are not the tenses of time. They are tenses of the mind. That which is no longer before the mind becomes the past. That which is before the mind is the present. And that which is going to be before the mind is the future. Past is that which is no longer before you. Future is that which is not yet before you. And present is that which is before you and is slipping out of your sight. Soon it will be past. If you don't cling to the past, because clinging to the past is absolute stupidity, it is no longer there, so you are crying for spilled milk. What is gone is gone. And don't cling to the present, because that is also going, and soon it will be past. Don't cling to the future, hopes, imaginations, plans for tomorrow, because tomorrow will become today, will become yesterday. Everything is going to become yesterday. Everything is going to go out of your hands. Clinging will simply create misery. You will have to let go. The question again, what is in the way of me truly releasing the energy of my book to the world? And my own energy inside of me speaks and says, you will have to let go. This is how I play with the tarot cards. Like, it's just fun. It's light and it's fun and it's confirmation. So there's a commentary. So on the one side, they give you this beautiful wisdom, and on the other side, they kind of describe what is drawn in the card. So it says, the figure pictured in this card is so preoccupied with clutching her box of memories that she has turned her back on the sparkling champagne glass of blessings available here and now. Her nostalgia for the past really makes her a blockhead, which is funny because it's like a block. They're funny. Zen's good. And a beggar besides, as we can see from her patched and ragged clothes. She needn't be a beggar, of course, but she is not available to taste the pleasures that offer themselves in the present. It's time to face up to the fact that the past is gone, and any effort to repeat it is a sure way to stay stuck in an old blueprint that you would have already outgrown if you hadn't been so busy clinging to what you have already been through. Take a big breath. Deep. It says deep. Take a deep breath. Put the box down. Tie it up in a pretty ribbon if you must, which is hysterical because the ones that I'm mailing, I'm tying up in a ribbon, literally. And bid it a fond and reverent farewell. Life is passing you by, and you're in danger of becoming an old fossil before your time. So, no more clinging to the past. That is now over. All right, and then usually, like, I'll come back to these and kind of read them maybe a couple days later and go, oh, it's so good, right? Like, that's so true. And then I just let them go. It's not this thing that I analyze and sit with. It's like, oh, beautiful validation, confirmation, thank you. And then I go on with my day. So the second question, what support do I have as I release one day? And I got the comparison card, which is somewhere in here. Let me see if I can find it. I should have these memorized by now, but I don't. Comparison, 126. And there's a lot of good stuff in there about major arcanas and minor arcanas, and yeah, like there's tons of good juicy details in here. All right, so the comparison card, if you can see, shows two different trees, two different, yeah, like a bamboo and maybe an oak tree. It says, and again, what support do I have as I release one day? Comparison brings inferiority and superiority. When you don't compare, all inferiority, all superiority disappear. Then you are simply there. A small bush or a big high tree, it doesn't matter. You are yourself. You are needed. You are needed. A grass leaf is needed as much as the biggest star. Without the grass leaf, God will be less than he is. The sound of the cuckoo is needed as much as any Buddha. The world will be less rich if this cuckoo disappears. Just look around. All is needed and everything fits together. It is an organic unity. Nobody is higher and nobody is lower. Nobody superior, nobody inferior. Everybody is incomparably unique. Isn't that the most beautiful card to get when I talk about my book? Like, it's my story and it's my thing and everyone has their own. So the commentary on the side, it says, whoever told you that the bamboo is more beautiful than the oak, or the oak more valuable than the bamboo? Do you think the oak wishes that it had a hollow trunk like this bamboo? Does the bamboo feel jealous of the oak because it is bigger and its leaves change color in the fall? The very idea of the two trees comparing themselves to each other seems ridiculous. But we humans seem to find this habit very hard to break. Very hard to break. Let's face it, there is always going to be somebody who is more beautiful, more talented, stronger, more intelligent, or apparently happier than you are. And conversely, there will always be those who are less than you are in all these ways. The way to find out who you are is not by comparing yourself with others, but by looking to see whether you are fulfilling your own potential in the best way that you know how. Sweet. All right, what does it serve me to know as I prepare for some quiet, reflective time with friends? And I got the possibilities card with the eagle flying over the land. It says, mind can accept any boundary anywhere, but the reality is that by its very nature, existence cannot have any boundary, because what will be beyond the boundary? Again, another sky. That's what I'm saying. Skies upon skies are available for your flight. Don't be content easily. Those who remain content easily remain small. Small are their joys, small are their ecstasies, small are their silences, small is their being. But there is no need. This smallness is your own imposition upon your freedom, upon your unlimited possibilities, upon your unlimited potential. The commentary says, the eagle has an overview of all the possibilities contained in the landscape below, as he flies freely, naturally, and effortlessly through the sky. He is really in his domain, very grand and self-contained. This card indicates that you're at a point where a world of possibilities is open to you. Because you have grown more loving towards yourself, more self-contained, you can work easily with others. Because you are relaxed and at ease, you can recognize possibilities as they present themselves, sometimes even before others can see them. Because you are in tune with your own nature, you understand that existence is providing you with exactly what you need. Enjoy the flight and celebrate all the varied wonders of the landscape spread before you. It is going to be a good weekend. So much fun. We're going to celebrate my friend's art exhibit, and it feels like such a huge opening for him also. So I am excited. All right, so the next one is intensity. Whew. Okay, how do I release control of Star being happy and well taken care of while I am gone? And let me tell you, my puppy is this card. Like, this is the energy of my dog. He is like intense, like really intense. So I don't know if you can see, it's really beautiful. The card has like an energy moving towards a light, but it's like dissolving in the background. Okay, the card says, Zen says, think of all the great words and great teachings as your deadly enemy. Avoid them, because you have to find your own source. You have not to be a follower or an imitator. You have to be an original individual. You have to find your innermost core on your own with no guide and no guiding scriptures. It is a dark night, but with the intense fire of inquiry, you are bound to come to the sunrise. Everybody who has burned with intense inquiry has found the sunrise. Others only believe. Those who believe are not religious. They are simply avoiding the great adventure of religion by believing. What's interesting is when I'm gone in Costa Rica, my daughter and I are going to an astrology conference, and it feels like connecting with people who think like I do and want to change the world in the ways that I do. And so what I'm getting from this card is, how do I release control of my dog being happy? I trust that others have him taken care of, and I focus on why I'm going to Costa Rica, what I'm doing there and experiencing there with my daughter. So it isn't really about Star. It's about me being present and, yeah, finding the sunrise, right? The figure in this card has taken on the shape of an arrow, moving with a single pointed focus of one who knows precisely where, it says he, but I'm going to say she, where she is going. She is moving so fast that she has become almost pure energy. But her intensity should not be mistaken for the manic energy that makes people drive their cars at top speed to get from point A to point B. That kind of intensity belongs to the horizontal world of space and time. This intensity, represented by the Knight of Fire, belongs to the vertical world of the present moment. A recognition that now is the only moment there is, and here is the only space. When you act with the intensity of the Knight of Fire, it is likely to create ripples in the waters around you. Some will feel uplifted and refreshed by your presence. Others may feel threatened or annoyed. But the opinions of others matter little. Nothing can hold you back right now. That's pretty fun. And I feel that intensity, so it's good to see a way to harness that and stay focused. Good card. Good card. Okay. I have 3 more, and I have to go pick my kid up from school. All right. How do I receive the abundance? What was the card I pulled for that? Participation, of course. It is, how do I receive the abundance of play as I talk about picking up my son and being responsible? All right, how do I receive the abundance of play that awaits me in Costa Rica with my daughter? And I got the participation card, which is really cool. They're all cool, right? Okay, the participation card is 84, which says, I should really put my glasses on. Participation. Have you ever seen night going? Very few people even become aware of things which are happening every day. Have you ever seen the evening coming? The midnight and its song, the sunrise and its beauty. We are behaving almost like blind people. In such a beautiful world, we are living in small ponds of our own misery. It is familiar, so even if somebody wants to pull you out, you struggle. You don't want to be pulled out of your misery, of your suffering. Otherwise, there is so much joy all around. You have just to be aware of it and to become a participant, not a spectator. Philosophy is speculation. Zen is participation. Participate in the night leaving. Participate in the evening coming. Participate in the stars and participate in the clouds. Make participation your lifestyle and the whole existence becomes such a joy, such an ecstasy. You could not have dreamed of a better universe. It's so good, right? That's so beautiful. It's beautiful by itself, but it's even more beautiful when I connect it to abundance of play. It says, each figure in this mandala holds the right hand up in an attitude of receiving and the left hand down in an attitude of giving. Hopefully you can see that. The whole circle creates a tremendous energy field that takes on the shape of the double, I think it's called Dorja, the Tibetan symbol for the thunderbolt. The mandala has a quality like that of the energy field that forms around a Buddha, where all the individuals taking part in the circle make a unique contribution to create a unified and vital whole. It is like a flower whose wholeness is even more beautiful than the sum of its parts, at the same time enhancing the beauty of each individual petal. How awesome is we're going to a conference, right? We're going to a conference and then we're going to see my family that I lived with when I studied in Costa Rica. So we're in these like awesome communities. It's so beautiful. You have an opportunity to participate with other let me say that again. You have an opportunity to participate with others now, to make your contribution to creating something greater and more beautiful than each of you could manage alone. Your participation will not only nourish you, but will also contribute something precious to the whole. How awesome is that? I will see you soon, Kaipacha. We are coming to play. All right, what most serves me to know on this new moon? And it is the transformation card, which is probably a major arcana. Yep, 28. Transformation, that's that one I showed you. That's kind of wild, right? All right, this is what I need to know on the new moon. A master in Zen is not simply a teacher. In all the religions, there are only teachers. They teach you about subjects which you don't know, and they ask you to believe, because there is no way to bring those experiences into objective reality. Neither has the teacher known them. He has believed them. He transfers his belief to somebody else. Zen is not a believer's world. It is not for the faithful ones. It is for those daring souls who can drop all belief, unbelief, doubt, reason, mind, and simply enter into their pure existence without boundaries. But it brings a tremendous transformation. Hence, let me say that while others are involved in philosophies, Zen is involved in metamorphosis, in a transformation. It is an authentic alchemy. It changes you from base metal into gold. But its language has to be understood, not with your reasoning and intellectual mind, but with your loving heart. Or even just listening, not bothering whether it is true or not. And a moment comes suddenly when you see it, which has been eluding you your whole life. Suddenly, what Gautam Buddha called 84,000 doors opens. The central figure in this card sits atop the vast flower of the void, the darkness, the emptiness, and holds the symbols of transformation. The sword that cuts through illusion, the snake that rejuvenates itself by shedding its skin. I literally just did a call on this for Rueben a couple weeks ago. The snake and how it sheds its skin and how we are all doing that also. the broken chain of limitations, and the yin-yang symbol of transcending duality. One of its hands rests on its lap, open and receptive. The other reaches down to touch the mouth of a sleeping face, symbolizing the silence that comes when we are at rest. This is a time for a deep let go. Allow any pain, sorrow, or difficulty just to be there, accepting its facticity. It is very much like the experiences of Gautam Buddha, when, after years of seeking, he finally gave up, knowing there was nothing more that he could do. And that very night, he became enlightened. Transformation comes, like death, in its own time. And like death, it takes you from one dimension into another. Apparently, this next month is going to be fun. Going to be fun. What's cool is I'm not afraid of transformation anymore. I used to be. I would have gotten this card and been like, oh, what's going to happen? What bad things are coming? Ah, right? And now I'm like, sweet, bring it on. What's coming next? Like, it's all been so beautiful so far. What's next can only get better. All right, last card, and then I need to go. I need to go get my son. What do my guides want me to know now? Another major arcana. There's a lot of big stuff happening. Beyond Illusion, card 42. Card 42. And it's beautiful, right? It's a butterfly. My friend and I were just talking about butterflies. Butterflies as a symbol of transformation. And it has the face right in the center. And I love the numbers on the card too. It's a double X, right? Like XX. All right, what do my guides want me to know now? Beyond Illusion. This is the only distinction between the dream and the real. I've read this before, by the way. It might sound a little confusing, so hang in there. This is the only distinction between the dream and the real. Reality allows you to doubt. The dream does not allow you to doubt. To me, the capacity to doubt is one of the greatest blessings to humanity. The religions have been enemies because they have been cutting the very roots of doubt. And there is a reason why they have been doing that. Because they want people to believe in certain illusions that they have been preaching. Why have the people like Gautam Buddha been so insistent that the whole existence, except your witnessing self, except your awareness, is just ephemeral? I hope I said that right. Made of the same stuff as dreams are made of. They are not saying that these trees are not there. They are not saying that these pillars are not there. Don't misunderstand because of the word illusion. It has been translated as illusion, but illusion is not the right word. Illusion does not exist. Reality exists. Maya is just in between. It almost exists. As far as day-to-day activities are concerned, it can be taken as reality. Only in the ultimate sense, from the peak of your illumination, it becomes unreal or illusory. Okay, the commentary. Let me interpret what the guides are trying to tell me. The butterfly in this card represents the outer, that which is constantly moving and that which is not real but an illusion. The 3D world, right? There's so much going on, chaos, activity. Behind the butterfly is the face of consciousness, looking inward to that which is eternal. This is what my book is about. This is all that I've been explaining. The space between the two eyes has opened, revealing the lotus of spiritual unfoldment and the rising sun of awareness. This is the third eye, right? The intuitive knowing that each of us has. Through the rising of the inner sun, meditation is born. The card reminds us not to look outside for what is real, but to look within. When we focus on externals, we too often get caught up in judgments. This is good, this is bad. I want this, I don't want that. These judgments keep us trapped in our illusions, our sleepiness, our old habits and patterns. Drop your opinionated mind and move inside. There you can relax into your own deepest truth, where the difference between dreams and reality is already known. Yeah, so I'm going to go back and reread these later when I can just totally drop all the way in and be present with it. But the process is what I wanted to share with you. And there's no bad card or good card. It's just energy and information and validation of what's going on in my world. So it's fun. There's some good stuff going on here in my world, and it's only getting better. So have some fun. Try the Zen Tarot or any other tarot, and just know it's your energy talking to you. Trust what it shows you. All right, have a great day.